Hello everyone, welcome to this tutorial. Credit assessment and credit scoring are two of the most essential steps for crafting a credit policy. While credit assessment helps you to analyze a customer's financial performance, credit scoring is where the actual execution takes place. Credit scoring provides valuation to your credit assessment based on the numerical scores and helps you build a scoring model. This further helps you to categorize the entire customer base into various risk segments. However, the question is, how do you do this on Oracle? That's what we are going to discuss in this video. First, I'm going to help you understand Oracle's credit scoring model and how you could leverage that to assess the creditworthiness of your customer. Next, we're going to discuss the various steps involved in creating and defining a credit scoring model in the Oracle application. So, let's begin. First, let's understand what is a credit scoring model in Oracle. A scoring model is one of the primary credit review tools that Oracle Credit Management uses to assess the creditworthiness of your customers. Scoring models include the data points and scoring methods that are appropriate for a particular credit review. In the credit scoring model, you could assign scores according to the range values of each data point, and based on that, the system calculates the scores for you. Optionally, you could also assign a relative weighting factor for each of the data point. Next, credit scores are calculated as whole integers. Decimal values with 0.5 or greater are rounded up. For example, 50.5 becomes 51 and 50.3 becomes 50. Once you get the credit scores, you could easily determine and assign the risk segments for a customer. The lower the credit score, the greater the credit risk, and vice versa. Now that you have understood the basics, let's see how this works on the Oracle application. To create a scoring model, we need to go to the Policy Management tab under Credit Management. There are 5 steps for creating a credit scoring model in Oracle. First, you have to define a credit scoring model, then select the appropriate data points, assign the ranges and scores, assign weights, and then review and submit the model. Let's go through each one by one. First, we will define a credit scoring model. I will name it as HRC Credit Scoring Model and describe it as a high-risk customer. I will select the currency as USD and click on Next. The next step is to select the data points. Here, the Oracle system will provide you a variety of data points, and you could choose any of it depending on your requirement. I will select the collateral percentage and the loan requested amount as per the dataset table I showed you earlier. The next step is to assign ranges and scores. Here, we assign appropriate ranges and scores to each of the data points. I will be using this dataset table to update the ranges, scores, and weights for each of the data points. According to the values here, the combination of high collateral percentage and low loan requested amount will produce a high credit score. Similarly, the combination of low collateral percentage and high loan requested amount will produce a low credit score as the risk associated will be high. For the type 1 of the collateral percentage, I will assign 25 to the lower range, 75 to the higher range, and the score as 50. And for the respective loan requested amount, I will assign the lower range as 0, the higher range as 100,000, followed by the score, 75. Similarly, I will add more rows and assign the ranges and scores for the rest of the types of data points. However, you need to make sure that the ranges don't overlap, or else the system will return an error message. Now, once we have updated everything, we will click on Next. The next step is to assign weights to the data points. A weighting factor basically indicates the relative importance of each data point in the scoring model. In this case, I will assign a higher weighting factor to the loan requested amount and a lower weighting factor to the collateral percentage. While you do this, make sure that the sum of all data point weighting factors is equal to 100. The last one is the review step. This step will help you to identify the numerical errors or mistakes that you might have done while updating the ranges and scores. Make sure to review this thoroughly because you will not be allowed to make any changes later. Once you have checked everything properly, click Submit and Done. You have successfully created a credit scoring model for a high-risk customer. Now, whenever you evaluate a customer, these scoring models could help you categorize your customers into different risk classes, calculate their scores automatically, and produce a comprehensive credit report. So, that's all for this tutorial. I hope you were able to understand all the steps involved in creating a credit scoring model, starting from defining a credit scoring model to assigning ranges and weights. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for more videos on Highako.